All right, guys, I want to get into the first phase of recovery and what that looks like for you. In this video, I'm going to be using a lot of terminology like parts, aspects of the psyche. Um, don't don't be too intimidated by the terminology. Like psyche's like you're basically your all elements of your mind. It's your total experience here while you're alive, while you're conscious. It's your entire experience, basically, mind, body, soul. Now, there's also going to be terms like parts, right? Frightened parts. You've probably heard that in the, or you did hear that in the last video. But the parts or aspects of your personality, it's a really simple concept, right? Like, picture you're going into a group, or you're going into this situation that it makes you uncomfortable. There's an aspect to you or a part of you that wants to connect. It wants to have fun. Like it wants to be at ease. But then there's another kind of aspect to you that's too frightened to. And that's what I mean. Multiplicity of the mind. Multiplicity of the mind is the natural state of the human mind. Once you come to this realization, this awareness of it in you, life, it's going to be so much more enjoyable. It'll take the heat off of thinking there's something wrong with you, you got voices. No, they're just aspects of you. And so a lot of the time when people are socially anxious, a lot of the issues arise because they get super attached to just one part or aspect of them, and they think it's them. But when you realize it's not 100% you, and it's not 100% you, and therefore you don't have to let that part or aspect of you totally run your life, that's when you get really empowered. That's when life starts to get fun. And that's when you start to get that zest back for life, because you realize you're doing just fine. It's these parts have just arisen out of your life experience, but we can integrate you back and heal you back into your balance flowing, your purposeful state that you came into the world with. So let's talk about the first phase. It's going to talk about basically what that looks like for you and the different action steps, different things that you need to learn, get into, be aware of, that sort of thing. So let's get into it, guys. And so what does the first phase of your recovery look like? These frightened parts, these frightened parts of your personality, it could be, think of these as your symptoms, right? The part of you that avoids talking to strangers, the part of you that stops you from speaking up for yourself, the part of you that just like me, like overly critical of yourself, the part of you that feels completely uncomfortable in groups. Think of these frightened parts as your symptoms. So what does the first phase of recovery look like? It looks like it's a lot of awareness building. So for example, you may not be aware that these different splintered off parts, frightened parts of your personality are actually working within you. And so the first phase is awareness. Now I have a couple of videos I want you to watch below. I'm going to link it below the video, okay? And the two meditation videos, one is a body scan. It teaches you how to scan your body and start to locate these energies, these congregations of trauma, these congregations of tension. It'll teach you how to scan your body, locate, access these frightened parts of your personality. Now, two, after that, once you can do that, I want you to move on to the second meditation, which is it's a meditation to help you become aware of how these frightened parts show up in your interactions, what it feels like in your body, and for you to give you just that awareness that one of these frightened parts is running the show, and it's for you to just be aware that these do exist. Do the meditations, you'll see what I mean. They're there, they're real, and you can experience it for yourself. So check those out. Make sure you do those. and it'll help you really get that awareness and just have that new outlook, that new perception of how you're being in the world. So that's the first phase, is basically access awareness. All right, so there's a lot to unpack in that video, right? But yeah, just in hearing the different terminology, the different perception, or like that new level of awareness, embrace it. It is multiplicity of the mind, guys. Completely normal. And once you start to really be aware of how this shows up in your different interactions with people, how different people can trigger different aspects of you, that's when you'll get your power back, and you're gonna absolutely thrive. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the last one. All right.